Well, all right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dowell here. And I want to do this video right here because it needs to be done, and it needs to be said, and it needs to be put out there in the atmosphere. There are a lot of misconceptions, a lot of deceptions, and a lot of things that put forth the illusion that there are certain ways. When you look at them and you see them for clearly what they really truly are, you always have people one way or the other trying to influence you based on their agenda and what they believe and think. And this video right here, I'm making it about professional athletes. You see, I know that besides the professional athletes retired that we have in the ministry now, that there are quite a few retired athletes and active athletes that actually watch and listen to Pastor Dowell here over at the Straitway Truth. I know for sure that there are plenty professional football players, basketball players, baseball players that actually watch this particular broadcast and our services. Now, in the ministry, we have in the ministry what many of you would consider to be some icons of the gridiron. And I mean, they made a very serious impact in the NFL. But after coming to the knowledge of the truth, and after watching and following Pastor Dowell as I follow Messiah, there's something crazy that goes on. I want y'all to listen to me very closely. Do y'all not think that it's kind of ironic that when you were in the deception of Christianity and you believe their lies, you believe these Christians who extorted millions of dollars from you, and some of them stole money from you, and you forgave it. Do you not think it's ironic that when you have a Christian Baptist or a Christian Catholic or a Christian non-denominational, they may have their little disagreements with each other, but they never ever go out and attack each other based on what they call belief? But however, when you start to listen to Pastor Dowell and thus over here Straitway, the people who they declare and straight up and down say that you should love because they're their brethren, they end up hating us. And have you ever really truly watched the attack that really truly takes place against Straitway? And I'm telling you, flat out, if you just look at what we do, and you look at our fruits, it's undeniable. We keep the commandments. We believe in living set apart. We believe in educating our children and our women being chaste keepers at home. We believe in the men providing, and just doing what we can possible by the grace and favor of Jesus to obey his word and to obey him. And that's a big one right there, because Christianity doesn't teach you to obey or keep the commandments. They talk about them, but they don't teach you to obey them. But isn't it amazing how everybody is fine and good when you're over there in that deception being extorted and lied upon, and when people are using you and abusing you and taking advantage of you, you're all fine and good with that. And as soon as you start listening to me, the same people that is extorting you, the same people that lied to you, the same people that is stolen millions and thousands of dollars from you, look at the devil, and the devil is a lie. The first thing you do is start pointing fingers at me over here as if we've done something wrong and all we did was tell you the truth. I remember a few years back, I went up to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I went into Jacob's Well Church up there. Jacob's Well Church, where one of the elders, the head schoolmasters up there, Ron Young, I debated him on two of their most popular subjects, Christmas and Easter. All you have to do is type in Pastor Dowell versus Ron Young, Christmas and Easter debate. Now, if you want to know the truth, go look at it. Go watch it. And you will be appalled if you are a man and woman of truth. Forget the flavors of religion. If you are a man and woman of truth, you'll be appalled at some of the rhetoric that these people tout and try to purport as truth while they twist, warp, and distort the word. And then they got you pointing fingers at us. And they got all kind of people levying accusations against us as if we've done something wrong. And you're still steeped in that deception, all because it's part of a false religion. And many of these people that were icons in the NFL that supported some of these ministries, oh, it was fine and beautiful when you were with them. As soon as you start listening to us, oh man, all of a sudden the wheel come off the proverbial car. And of course, what did Pastor Dowell do? I went up, and I can't tell you how many times I've had private sit-down councils with these Christian theologians, Christian pastors, Christian radio broadcasters, and I sit there and let these men who was at one time icons on the gridiron in the NFL, and they sit down and listen to what they come from, and they listen to me. And it was easy for them to make a distinction of who have been lied to, who been fleeced, who been extorted, and who has been done wrong. I showed them how that these people really don't care one thing about you. Only thing they care about is your money. You watch and see. And let me tell all you NFL and all you professional athletes something out there. And I want to use a name. Now, I don't know if he knows me or not, but I do know that a story came out the other day. And I think that this is one smart guy. The man is the name of Travis Kelce. He plays tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He has had a girlfriend, I think, for over 5 years. And ever since he's been dating this woman, he has made her pay half of everything that they do. Did you hear what I said? And it's been reported that the only amount of money that he has ever given her is $100 over a 5-year relationship. You know what I call that? In that particular venue, I will call that wise. You know the reason why? Because this man has not been lied to and taken advantage of. If you look at the NFL as a whole, the NFL and these other professional sports, they have lied to you men. You have to understand, we live in a matriarchal society to where the whole design of the matriarchal society is to destroy the patriarch. And the worst thing you can ever do in the United States of America is go out and get a marriage license. Why would you want to go out and get a state marriage license that is an abomination and against the Most High Yah? Because the same marriage license you get, they give them same license to the homosexuals. They give them same license to the lesbians. They give them same license to anybody out there other than anybody who wants to do it the biblical way. They give them their license. And that license, as undisclosed it is in his contract, it binds you in the family courts, and it binds you forever, and they will steal and take every single nickel, penny, and dime of your wealth. They're not going to tell you that. You can get married without having a state license. You don't believe me? How did Abraham get married? How did George Washington get married? How did people get married for thousands of years, over 6,000 years? How did people get married before the state came in and gave you a license? Now, you know, the only reason why they started license is because of miscegenation. You know, they didn't want the slaves. They didn't want Mandingo marrying a white woman, and they figured if it was going to happen and you can't stop it, so why don't we just make a little bit of profit on it? And then they figured out, man, that's a lot of profit. So guess what? We just have everybody give a license. Now, mind you, the only reason why you did that is because you gave them their consent, because everybody else is doing it. When you done that, you signed your life over in a third-party contractual agreement. And when you go to these family courts, 90% of the time, the woman is through the court system. Not that she has any power of her own, but through the family court system, they're going to destroy you as a man. The whole idea is to put you under their thumb to get you to acquiesce and capitulate to them. The unseen force and power of a hand to control you and manipulate you through the woman. It's crazy. And I'm telling you, you can do everything that a man and woman can still do. You can make your own private contract, your own private agreement outside of the jurisdiction of the state marriage license. Because you go get that marriage license, you're going to have hell to pay. Now, most of them are smart and they get a prenuptial agreement. And you better make sure that thing is ironclad. Because these women today, they have gotten so brazen and so bold. Not because they have any power of their own. Because they have the system behind them to make sure they keep the man under the thumb. Now, what I'm telling you is facts. I've watched women take a man's seed from him because of the system and because of the courts and because of these nonsensical so-called laws here in America. So what do you have to do? You can still be married without a state marriage license and not be under their jurisdiction. You can still have authority and keep your authority as a man, because you're not going to find any righteousness in this generation. Did y'all know that over 80% of professional athletes, 80% of them that play in the NFL anywhere from 3 to 10 years, do you know that 80% of them get out of the NFL and end up on Skid Row? They end up living a life, and mind you, everybody loves to cheer for you when you're on the gridiron. Everybody so-called loves you when you're making a lot of money. Don't think when you go to these functions and everything that everybody's in love with you as a person, or everybody's in love with you because of who you are. No, they love your statistics. They love what you can produce for them. They love that you give them the ability to have the lamentation of the crowd to be able to cheer for their so-called team. But they don't care one bit about you. Nobody really truly teaches you financial literacy. So 80% of the people, I just got finished hearing about Marion Barber passing away in an apartment. Think about this. Alone at a very young age. And you've got to wonder what's going on. Because if you notice, when these people are no longer on the gridiron, when they're no longer on the basketball court playing, you're forgotten about. Nobody cares nothing about you. Nobody cares what you did for them yesterday. As the old adage goes, what have you done for me lately? That's what's taking place. And then they like to accuse Pastor Dowell. Know nothing about me. They love to accuse Pastor Dowell of doing the exact same things that they have already done and are still doing. Listen, Christianity is a farce and a lie. And if any of you get caught up in that mess, you're going to be destroyed. My advice is hey, we have a certified financial planner, and a damn good one too. As a matter of fact, one of the only black certified financial planners in America, Kabir Bajabil. He's been through this. I've got professional NFL players that when you look them in their eyes, you can tell if they're lying to you or not. But see, the problem of today is that many people are not willing to suffer loss in order to gain. The world has everybody on so much of deception that they want you to look for acceptance by them and do things their way and live their way. That's what they want. You know, there's another old professional, and I'm not old in age, but an old professional basketball player by the name of Kwame Brown. The man is hated out there. Why is he hated? He hated because he tells the truth. I've heard a few times where Kwame Brown has actually mentioned my name. I have much honor and much respect for that man. You know the reason why? Because he is a man, a flat out man. Now, if you are going to listen to Pastor Dowell, I'm not going to BS you. I'm going to come straight down the middle and tell you exactly how it is. And hey, all you have to do is use a little bit of self-autonomy. Look and see how these agents and everybody out there, the only thing they're concerned about is you doing well on the field so you can continue to keep making their paychecks as well. They don't give a damn about you as a person or your lifestyle or livelihood, and especially your soul. Christians don't either. They just want to use your name and your notoriety so that they can actually build off of it because they have nothing of their own. These people are deceivers and antichrist to the core. And man, if you get a woman that is deceived by, remember, how did the first sin enter into the world? It entered in by a woman stepping out from under the headship of her husband, going against the creator universe and biting of the fruit of the tree that was forbidden. And then she gave it to her gullible, insensitive to Yah husband, and it plunged the whole world into sin. And because of the woman, we're all in this condition. And somehow you can think that a woman can blink her eyes at you and you don't know nothing about it. Where is the sanctified, holy, set-apart woman? Every woman I see out here today, the holy grail is how big is her ass and how much false, phony, everything that she can put on in order to allure you through the lust of the eyes to deceive you. But those clean, righteous women, ain't too many people want to fool around with them. But I tell you what, 80% of professional athletes are going to end out on Skid Row. We had an old football player by the name of Joe Gilliam. He played behind Terry Bradshaw in the 70s. He actually had a home on the Cleveland Street Bridge down here in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, he slept in a cardboard box. And you watch some of these icons of the gridiron, they go on and have nice professional careers. They're broadcasters and everything else. That's not afforded to everybody else. It really, truly not. And you begin to watch the selfishness of man who, at one time when you were there and you had comrades or you had buddies or you had pals, you had G's or friends for life and all this other stuff, they were there. But then when you're hitting Skid Row, they don't have nothing for you. You see, one day, this life that we all are living, the illusion of it and the deception of it, it's all going to be gone. All the falsehoods, all the lies, all the twisting and the warping and distorting, all the lies that, Sports Illustrated or Sports Magazine has been blowing up my phone and blowing up the people in my ministry phone trying to get an interview with Pastor Dowell, which they're not going to. I told them, if you're going to get an interview with me, the interview is going to happen like this. It's going to happen recorded live. Because you're not going to sit there and take an interview and then write your notes and then twist my story and distort what I said and then put it out there and then try to sway and persuade people's minds. No, I want people to hear it firsthand live as it goes. And if you can't do that, stop trying to contact me. You're probably not going to stop doing it anyway. The only reason why you're contacting me is because of people like Kabir Bijabil and Rob Mathis. That's the only reason why. Not that you give a damn about truth. You don't care nothing about our lifestyle and what we're doing. You don't care nothing about it. The only thing you want is a story to line your pockets and in order to deceive the rest of the people through your penmanship. So Pastor Dowell won't be doing no live interviews with that failed magazine called Sports Illustrated. Ain't nobody reading it anything. The swimsuit stuff don't even work no more. They can't see, they try to lure you through the swimsuit models and they can't even do that no more. But it's sad that people have to use deception in order to try to persuade your conscience in order to get you to listen to them. I'm not dealing in falsehoods. I'm not dealing in lies. Pastor Dowell, I'm a 10-year United States Army veteran paratrooper. I know what it means to fight for this country. I know what it means to be a man. I know what it means to follow, and I know what it means to lead. I think that many of you should count the cost. Let me give you what the word says. What shall a man give in exchange for his soul? You got to ask, because one day that career and that money is going to run out. Then what you going to have? Because the same people that smile in your face and is always around you, you're going to find out your wife, your so-called family members. I mean, you should hear the stories that Daniel Muir tells me. When I was playing, they were all there, wearing my jerseys in the stands, getting free tickets and everything. As soon as I stopped playing, they were gone. That's the nature of man. It's something, isn't it? Isn't it something? And some of you watch every single video I put up, and yet still, it can't persuade you. I mean, it's no big deal to follow the truth. I'm one of the only few preachers that ask you to pick up the Bible, read it for yourself, but I'm going to tell you in advance what's going to happen. The day you start reading that scriptures, those Bibles, start doing what it says, you're going to really, truly find what that movie was all about, The Matrix. You're really, truly going to find what it's all about, because you're going to find out that you've been believing fairy tales. You've been under delusion and lies all of your life, and your family has been instrumental in teaching you that. And not only that, the people who you think that was close to you, who have been using you for your talent and your ability, when it's all gone, you're not going to find them around anywhere, nowhere, when you're not doing nothing no longer for them. And I tell you, it's a sad, sad thing to sit up there and watch these brothers go off into eternity without the salvation of the real Jesus Christ, not the one that Christianity preaches and teaches. You know, Paul told us that there will be people that will come and preach a false Jesus and a false Christ, and Christianity is that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you exactly what Christianity is. It is the biggest lie and deception that has ever been perpetuated against mankind. Now I want you to listen to what I'm saying. You cannot pick up that Bible and find 1 minute or 1 second or one line in there where Jesus Christ himself ever called himself a Christian. He never did that. He never came to promote Christianity. Christianity is a religion that came about in the 3rd century. In the 1st century, he was clearly telling his people, I have not been sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And the house of Israel is not those Khazarians or those Khazars that have been transplanted in the land of Israel in 1948 by the Balfour Agreement from the United States and Great Britain, who come from the Caucasus Mountains. You know, those Ukrainians, those Russians, those Ashkenazis, those Khazarians, they all been transplanted down there into that land. And now they have all of a sudden taken the identity of us who've been scattered all across this world. And you think for 1 minute that the world is going to preach and teach that truth, even though they know that you're supposed to bless Israel? Because somebody stole our identity and took our name, and now you're just going to believe the lies, and you think you're going to prosper and get into eternity? But the revelation of St. John the Divine, the book of Revelation, Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, I know them that say that they are Jews and they are not, but they do lie. I know them that say that they are Jews and they are not, but they are of the synagogue of Satan. Now, what are you going to do about that? When you got the book telling you clearly the people who are calling themselves Jews today, and they are not. They're not the real people of the tribe of Yehudim. But do you think this world and the deception of his religion give a damn? No, they don't. Christianity don't keep the commandments and will not keep the commandments. They're preaching and teaching to you another Jesus. And if you don't believe it, check me out. Test it. Do like the book says in 1 Thessalonians 5:21, which is prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. So what is Pastor Dowell become in this day, time, and hour? Galatians 4:6. Have I become your enemy? Because I tell you the truth. And the answer is an absolute yes. I have become a lot of people's enemy because I tell the truth flat out. And the one thing that people hate more than anything is change. Because if you're going to really truly serve the real true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it is commanded and demanded that you change. You're not going to hear that from the rest of these people that want to make merchandise of you. You need to check it out for your own soul's sake. But I can tell you this, life is short. And we're not going to continue to keep going this way. What shall a man give in exchange of his work for his soul? Fame, glory, all of that. You look at the hip-hop music industry. Man, don't you see the Satanism involved in that and the people glory in that stuff? Well, I think I've said enough. I think, hey, if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. But one thing I do know is that every single male and female that has been born of a woman on this earth, and I tell people all the time, you better hope that you got it right. You better hope that you have it right. Because if you don't have it right, you're going to have hell to pay throughout all of eternity. Let people try to make light of it and make you think that there's no heaven and hell. Let them make you think that there's no afterlife, even though you see Satanism promoted all over the place. Confirm to you and let you know that there is. Keep on running this life and ride this living and don't think you have to keep the commandments of Yah and see what happens. I know. All I can do is preach it and tell it. I can't open your understanding. But I will tell you this. You check out Straitway, check out Pastor Dowell, and check out all the rest of these people, and let's see. Let's come to the table. Get all them lies out there. Agents, family, so-called friends, colleagues, acquaintances, pastors, owners. agents. You can call any of them. Have them come and sit down. Matter of fact, let's have a sit down and let's do it recorded live. And let's see what it's all about. You're going to find out that this man has not lied to you and never lied to you, but I loved you enough to tell you the truth. Well, it's sad, but it's true. The one thing I can say about Kabir Bajabil Daniel Murray, Rob Mathis, and T.J. Clemens, the one thing I can say about them is they are men, intelligent men that love Yah. Intelligent men that are men of their own merit and will stand for truth no matter what. Also in this ministry, we have professionals. We have Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, U.S. Army paratroopers. We have a plethora, Marines. We have a lot of people that have simply made a change in their life and realized that what's going on in this daytime and hour we live in is the truth. Stop letting people toy around with your soul. You only have one life to live. Marion Barber can't repent. He's done. He had a chance while he was alive. Kevin Samuels can't repent. He's done. He had a chance while he was alive. Another just brand new NFL player, he passed away this week too as well. Can't repent. Done. And as a tree falls, so shall it lie. What I'm saying in a nutshell, you better hope you got it right before the breath go out of your body. You better hope that you really, truly are known of him. Not because you say you know him. The key is does he know you? You better hope you got it right. Don't get caught up in the deception with these people taking advantage of, making lies out of you. You active people who are still in NFL and NBA, you consider what Pastor Dowell is saying. You want real, true financial literacy? We have somebody by the name of Kabir Bajabil that can put you on the right path to make sure that your thousands and your millions are not squandered away like these agents and everybody else will squander away. And when you get out of the NFL, you broke. And you can't even find a job because there ain't no jobs out here chasing balls. Literally, there's no jobs out here chasing balls. I hope that you have ears to hear. I really, truly do. Pass this message around. And my advice to each and every last one of you is keep the commandments and live. Remember what Jesus said in John 14:15. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. Y'all check out Pastor Dowell. Listen, I'm going to tell you what you're going to find. You're going to find a bunch of false witnesses and people pointing fingers at me. But the one thing you cannot deny is fruit. And remember what the book says. Woe unto you when men speak well of you, so did they of the false prophets. They speak well of T.D. Jakes. They speak well of Joel Osteen. They speak well of Benny Hinn, who has since repented of preaching 40-something years of the lie of the prosperity message. Now he's getting ready to cross over and go on into eternity. Now he wants to repent for taking advantage of everybody for 40-something years, living a lavish lifestyle, but he ain't giving those millions back to the people that he fleeced all those dollars from, hasn't he? Boy, look at the devil, and the devil is a lot of suckers born every day, isn't it? Well, you're going to get a lot of people accuse me of a lot of things. But you know what? The one thing I can appreciate about Rob Mathis is he says, you know what? I want to go down there with you and sit down with him and look at him eyeball to eyeball, face to face, and man to man. And I want to make my own judgments. I want to make my own judgment. And that brother's been a faithful Israelite ever since. And make no mistake about it, NBA and NFL, there's a lot of Israelites. Some of them are afraid to stand on that truth. You can appreciate Kyrie Irving. You sure can, for not taking the jab and standing. I hope he gets the hell out of New York. I really, truly do. The hypocritical state that they are. But it's time for you professional people to wake up, because listen, if we don't stop the bloodletting now, they're going to continue to keep taking advantage of you. They're going to continue to keep using a woman to destroy you and use your children as pawns to play on your heart and to just literally rake you through the coals and destroy you as a man. I know exactly what to do. how to build you up as a man and make sure that you maintain your integrity as a man and you stand on your own 2 feet. Hope it says something to stimulate thought. Pass this message around. Maybe, just maybe, it'll save one more soul. Remember, by their fruits, you shall know them. Check out my fruit. And everybody that ever speaks against me, make sure you do your due diligence and check out their fruit. And by their fruits, you shall know them. Shalom, Israel. The King is coming.